Let's dive into a pretty powerful and honestly kind of counterintuitive idea today. The idea that real strength, it isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about mastering the art of silence. This is all about how you can win by knowing exactly when not to speak.
Just think about that for a second. Have you? This one question, it just flips so much of what we're told about making your presence known right on its head. It suggests that the person who's always talking, always trying to prove something, they might actually be coming from a place of deep weakness.
And this is where you really see the difference, plain as day. The loud person, they're talking constantly, always chasing that validation. And in the process, they're showing all their cards, all their weaknesses. But the strong person? Oh, they move in silence. They're the one observing, analyzing, and because of that, they command respect without ever having to say a word.
So, what's really at the root of all this weakness? Well, it almost always boils down to one single thing, that constant, draining chase for approval from other people.
You see, this whole chase for validation, it's a trap. The second you need someone else to sign off on your choices, you've just handed them the steering wheel to your life. You're letting them define your worth, and that is the absolute fastest way to lose yourself.
And you know, the fascinating thing is, this is like a universal law, this neediness, this desperation for approval. It literally pushes away the very things you want. It doesn't matter if it's respect, or a new opportunity, or a real connection.
It's kind of like trying to catch a butterfly, right? The more you run around frantically trying to grab it, the faster it flies away. But if you just stand still, focus on your own presence, it'll often come and land right on you. Life works the exact same way. What you chase runs. What you build inside yourself attracts.
So this all brings us to a really crucial question you've got to ask yourself. Are you operating from a place of abundance, knowing deep down that you're enough, or are you operating from a place of lack, always needing other people to fill some kind of void? The answer to that question pretty much determines if you attract or repel everything in your life.
Okay, so if that's the problem, then what's the solution? Well, it starts by completely reframing how you think about silence, not as this empty void, but as an active, powerful, and totally strategic tool.
And this, right here, is the big mindset shift. Silence is not passive. It's a state of heightened awareness. It's only when you stop talking that you can finally start to see and hear what's really going on around you.
And this is where you get a massive strategic advantage. In that quiet, you start picking up on all the things that aren't being said. You see people's real motives, not just the words they're feeding you. You get to protect your own energy because you stop getting dragged into pointless arguments. You just start to move with this incredible purpose and clarity.
Think about it like a game of chess. A grandmaster doesn't yell out their next 5 moves, do they? No, they observe the board, they study their opponent, and they wait in complete silence for that perfect moment to strike. Talking too much is like showing your opponent your entire game plan before the first piece has even moved.
So how do you actually do this? How do you put it into practice? It's really a 4-step thing. First, just pull back a little. Stop being the one who has to start every single interaction. Second, turn that focus inward. Pour that energy into your own growth, your own value. That shift alone creates this magnetic energy. And finally, you learn to use absence strategically. Because sometimes, your silence can teach a lesson that 1,000 words never could. And that leads to a really powerful test. When you stop justifying every single thing you do, who sticks around? See, silence acts like a filter. It shows you who's there for you, and who was only there for the version of you that was easy to control or understand.
But listen, silence by itself isn't quite enough. It has to be paired with another discipline, one that is incredibly hard in our world today, and that's patience. A deep, deep trust in the process. You've got to remember this. Just because you can't see the results right away, it doesn't mean nothing's happening. Think about a seed in the ground. All the most critical work, the roots growing deep and strong, it all happens in the dark, long before anything ever breaks through the surface. I mean, just look at nature. It's the perfect teacher for this. Nature never, ever rushes. The seasons don't hurry, a tree doesn't force itself to grow, and yet, everything gets done. Your own life has a natural rhythm just like that. Learning to trust it is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. So, what's the big payoff for all this patience? Well, you build things that last. Instead of these quick, flimsy wins, you start building strong foundations, a resilient mindset, relationships that are built on something real, not just neediness. You build the kind of success that actually endures.
So from now on, the next time you face a delay, I want you to reframe it. A delay is not a no, it's just a not yet. Sometimes, the universe keeps a door closed for a reason. It's because you're still getting ready for what's on the other side. That waiting period, that's your training ground.
All right, so let's bring all this home. How does mastering silence and patience actually translate into winning? How do you really start winning?
This, right here, is the absolute heart of it all. The real win isn't something external. It is a deep, fundamental shift inside of you. It's when you stop looking outside for your validation and you start generating your self-worth from within. When your value is no longer up for debate based on someone else's opinion, my friend, that is true freedom.
Yeah, because real power, it's not loud. It doesn't need to post an announcement or beg for attention. It has a gravity to it. It's a presence that you can feel in a room without a single word ever being spoken.
I mean, think about a lion. A lion doesn't have to roar all day long just to prove it's a lion, right? Its power is just there. It's inherent. It moves with this quiet confidence that leaves absolutely no room for doubt. Be the lion.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway. Real, unshakable strength, it isn't built in all the noise and chaos. It is forged in the quiet moments of observation, of patience, of self-control. When you can master that impulse to speak, to chase, to prove, that's when you start to master the game of life itself.
At the end of the day, all the answers, all the clarity, all the wisdom you're searching for, it isn't out there in the noise. It's waiting for you in the quiet. The only question left is, are you listening?